Okay, we get started. Thank you for joining with us this afternoon. Today's topic is on IAMLedger for tax practitioners or for accountants. This session is for those who are yet familiar with IAM and or interactive account manager, which is a cloud-based accounting solutions specifically designed for micro and small businesses. How do we get started and make use of the system within the practice? And from an accountant's point of view, IAM is the ledger that you can work on to prepare reports, tax returns for all your clients. Even if your clients use other accounting software or do not use software, you can prepare reports for them. You can also import trial balance from other software, finalize accounts, and prepare tax returns. And presenting today's sessions, I have the honor of having John Kyriakidis, a registered tax agent in the Sunshine Coast, who has been using the reports and IAM over the years. He will today show you how he uses IAM to manage his books, his clients, and their reporting obligations. So now I will let us hear from John.
Good evening all. My name's John Kyriakidis and welcome to the presentation. Today's presentation will be on key issues. I will be doing a little presentation and then taking you through the demonstration of the system. So where does IAMLedger fit into the Gov report of systems? Gov report, as it's known, it's a tax module that talks to various government bodies and it links into all the solutions around. So it's a very good system. I've been using it for the last 4.5 years and never looked back. So yeah, it is a good system. So about a year or two ago, Ledger came and that became part of my business. So which is another good thing. So I don't have to look for other softwares. What is the ledger for accountants? This is the menu that you see. It has key features. It's purely ledger work, journals, reporting. So you don't get debtors, creditors. It is not a business solution. It's for accountants to get their reporting requirements, either quarterly, monthly, half yearly, whatever is required, and obviously annually. And it's a good cash flow tool as well. The menu is as follows. You got the bird's eye, accounts, chart of accounts, journals, and budgets. So it's which is a good thing. And then you got the reporting, which has the GST reporting and company tax return, which can be prepared, checked. Once you're happy with it, you can send it straight through to Gov Report Tax and do the tax return. It's an accountant's dream. Everything links together. Part of the setup, if you're transferring information from other software, you can import the trial balance. You know, our technical team will help you set up and understand how the trial balance import work. So yeah, it is a good feature, good tool. So you bring all the balances and then you just start a new year with what's required to do your business. Once it's imported, you can start getting reports in a different way and giving them to your client. Once you import the tax return, this is where it'll take you. You can start, roll over, and transfer into the Gov report income tax return. So, which is a good thing. So you go from one system to another without a problem. This is how the tax return summary comes up with, and it gives you what's required. As I said, if you're happy, you can transfer it to the tax return. And obviously you can do the same thing for GST and BAS as well. This menu here, it shows you all the clients and who you have. So to open, you've got your the ledger, and if you want to upgrade, you can upgrade to the business version. So if your client wants to use it, you can upgrade, and they can use it as well. So give them access, and they have a full version of the business ledger. This side here, this is the business. As you see, the menu opens once you get a business ledger. It has the banking, sales, purchases, payroll, accounts, reports. So you have the full blown requirements for a small business, and to me that's a good thing, and that helped our business as well. So even if you start using Ledger for accountants, and then the client wants to upgrade, all the data that you've done the work on is still in the system, so you don't have to do any further work. So it's they can start where you want them to start. So you've got the figures as you require for following years to get reports, so which is a good thing. All right, that's the small presentation on Gov reports. What we want to do now is just show you some features of Ledger and the business module of Ledger.
John, before we go into that, I have a few questions. So you mentioned that IAM is linked with Gov reports. Is that for the lodgements side of things, or will IAM be able to lodge direct?
It's linked to Gov reports, tax. You can all the lodgement is done through Gov reports.
Okay, and do you?
So all the data will flow through. So for instance, if you're doing payroll, tax file declaration can be generated and sent to Gov reports. From there you lodge it to the ATO. So okay, you don't have to double key things.
Okay, that answers the next questions. And you mentioned earlier that clients can also get access. Is that the share data access, or do they have restricted access only to their accounts?
No, they have full access to the full debtors, creditors, payroll. So they can do all their bookkeeping, accounting, whatever they require. Sometimes what happens with my business, they want us to do their bookkeeping as well, whilst they raise their invoices and keep control of their business as well. So they could do all their payments and invoicing through business ledger, the business accounting, and then we can do all the allocation and other things through a bank feed. I believe future there's going to be a direct bank feed from the bank, and at the moment we do it through CSV upload, which works quite well as well. So once the clients give us a CSV, we can upload that through the banking. So yeah, it was a learning curve changing from one system. I was heavily MyOp user, and it has been, you don't have to use multiple ledgers. So it's good to have a good network of systems. All right, this is a tax module. Just bear with me. I'll go into IAM. Like, if there's any questions, let us know while we're waiting for it to upload.
I should also mention that the account that John is getting in is a testing account, which is not the production account. It is lower than its as we use this for testing, so it is not its performance rating is much lower than that of our productions account.
So as you see here in the test module, the subscription, as it states, it tells you where you are as well. So IAM business, so it's a full in the testing they don't have Ledger for accountants. So so what we'll do, we'll open one company, and we can go through some of the menus and key features of what we said in the presentation. So when you first start the system, it takes you to the bird's eye view. It tells you the key points and features, what's outstanding, if you've got receivable payables wherever you are, if they're overdue or due or whatever. So it gives you a snapshot where you are. So on this side you can see, you know, the presentation we had, it was only a couple, which is accounts and bird's eye accounts and reports. You can see here it's a full business module. So you've got the bank register, bank feeds, sales, everything that you require, purchases, which has all the expenses, payments, debit notes, suppliers, and then payroll. It's again for a small small business, and you know it works quite well, and it's good if you've got 5 to 10 employees, and it works nicely. And from there you can send the tax file declaration once it's filled in, so you can shoot it off from here. Once you set up the employee, you can say, okay, I want to send this. It tells you, see how this button, once you click here, it tells you generate tax file number. Once you enter the employee, you can, which is a good feature, saves you signing those manual things and send them off to the ATO. So that's a very good feature. What we, if we can go a little bit to the banking, we've got bank feed or bank register. This is a good thing. You know, once somewhere there, you select the bank account, and you can sometimes companies have multiple accounts, so you got to know which bank account you're in and which one you're importing. So you select, and obviously they're probably named you select the account, then you go to import, you put the description, whatever, we say it's March 2017, and you pick how many columns you've got. So wherever you've got the your file saved, you call it in, and then it's June. And you upload. This is how easy it is. So what column is this? You tell it it's a date. This is the amount. And that's the description. And this one here is the total, so you don't bring in the total. And you've assigned everything in, and away you go. And obviously it tells you the date format. Key feature, if it has a header or not, so you tick yes or no. In the training module, there's some rules at the moment. You can see it's applied the rule and it's approved, so it's already expensed it. So yeah. And there's 176 and 14 matched. So the unmatched, you've got to go in and action them. So from there you pick what you want to do. But I don't want to go through all that. I just wanted to show you how easy it is to import the bank feed through a CSV file. So once you get this file, you can play around with it. So the next feature is the sales, all your sales here, you generate invoices and so on. Purchases, same thing, same process, and it controls everything through the system. Everything here will integrate, it'll go to the ledger, so you don't have to do any journals, or it's fully integrated system. Any part of this will go back into the general ledger and you get your reports. Payroll, again, it's a good feature. The chart of accounts, you've got pre-selected chart of account, so you don't have to sit there and create the whole chart of accounts, which is important. All you need to do is rename them or reclassify them or create a new one. So there's plenty of accounts there, and it's well structured between sales, revenue, cost of good, all different areas. So it's a very good, some systems you have to create the chart of account from scratch. So with this one, it's already there. Sometimes there's too many accounts for the business that we look after. Again, as I said, you've got budgets and do journals through here. Once all this is the bookkeeping done and all your accounting is done, this is the key features here. You get the key reports, trial, all the, but the main one for accountants is this key financial statements, which is set. You pick which year you want. and generate the report. And here you can put the directors. You know, there could be multiple. You just have to add more lines and more directors. Instead of getting rid of directors, you can say it's resigned, or you can remove them. And here you can do a bit of setting as well, what you need in the report, if you want notes, without notes, and you know, and if you want current date or other date in there. So yeah, this is good for accountants. That sometime I used to do it manually, so this is very good.
John, there's a questions. Obviously it works well for clients with proprietary limited, for company structure. What about for your clients that have self-managed super fund, trust or partnership? You know, how do you find IAM works for you as well in those scenarios?
It'll work for all entities, and when you create it in settings, especially when you start, it'll tell you what type of company here, business structure. So you tell it what structure you're in. So you can use it for trust, sole trader, partnership, self-managed super fund. To a certain extent, self-managed super funds got other requirement, but to do all the bookkeeping, control and reporting from it, you can do all that. You're uploading from CSV file or straight out from bank statements. So it just depends how big. I believe there's more improvement to this, but in the coming months and year, so it'll be a lot better. Yeah, no, you can to answer the question, it's you can use it for all structures. The other key features is the tax and the GST reporting, the BAS. Over here it'll give you what you need, what period, and you just select what period you want. As this is the full year, it gives you what's required. So if you want detail, you just click on that, it'll open it up. What does it all mean? All the transactions. So this is, you get a summary, and then you can click down to drill down to document level. And then from there you can click further if you wish. So yeah, that's a very good feature. So the BAS, from here you can do the BAS return, and you set your criteria, what period you want. Is it quarter? You know, we're doing so if we're doing March, it'll come up. It should give us some figures, but six. It'll give us all the figures. You check them. Again, as you see here, you can click down and it'll open it up. It'll give you more. You can drill down what it's made of. So once you're happy with all the figures, there's another button here where you can set up your bank link and all the requirements, any settings. You can set it up, add, restore whatever is required. So
I have a questions, John, if it's okay, or I'll wait until you're finished.
all right. Like I say, if this is all good, you're happy with the figures, you can say generate report. This will take you into straight into Gov reports. So it'll bring out the BAS return, and you can go prepare it, and all the figures are there, and hopefully it'll talk to it.
I have a question from
Yes.
Irene, John. How do you see what does IAM give you and does IAM business benefit the BAS agents who are not tax agents or accountants? What do you, from that point of view?
Does it benefit, the question is, does it benefit a BAS agent who is not a tax agent? Yes, it will. If a BAS agent has a client, you know, a small client that I want to, and they want to use the system as a bookkeeping tool, and you'll, you know, you can use it. As you see here, this is the BAS return, and if they've got access to GovReport BAS, they can lodge it directly. So will it benefit? Yes, it will. As it's as you can see here, it's a full accounting system for small business. As you said, Tiana, at the beginning, it's small, micro to small business. So it helps in accountants in reporting. As mentioned earlier as well, if we're, as an accountant, we use a ledger, which is available to us, part of the subscription, which I find is good. I get a lot of small clients, sole traders and other things, and it helps me create a general ledger for them instead of putting them on a full-blown subscription. A lot of times they don't want that. When their business grows, they want to start invoicing and doing other things, so it's easier without, you know, the transferring figures and other, so you can start them from that point. So you've already got prior years or got them up to certain quarter. They can continue from that point onwards. So I find that good when you convert them from ledger into a business accounting system. Yeah, I'm not sure what happened there to the link, but
sorry, I'll answer that. I'll answer that. It's because most of the testing clients that we have in GovReports must be prior 2011. So you're doing the 2016 financial year. The testing account, we don't have this for ATO, we won't have that. So that's probably why you got the message. There's no matching BAS activity or activity statements for these clients.
Okay, there you go. So on the actual one, it will work. It works on mine, so no issue there. And the other key feature that I find important, I showed it on the presentation, is the company tax return. So if you're doing the return, over here it'll give you a summary which links into it links into the tax return, so saves you rekeying the form. You just have to fill in other areas of the form. Once you've done all your checking, this balances to profit and loss. You can say publish. This one here again, more settings. If it's accrual, cash, whatever. So and then you publish. Again, we'll have the same problem linking back. So as you see there, they'll talk to each other. It says draft report already exists. We can say override. So part of testing, you keep doing the same thing. It is a bit slower than, here's the tax return. So once you fill in the detail, this is where I wanted to show you, so it'll put it all in the right areas. And then the balance sheet stuff will be there too. As you see there. So yeah, it works quite well. The key thing is you got to get your figures right in the system itself. So
if you find errors, you know, through in the company tax return and gov reports, do you change it here, or do you make the changes here, or do you go back to IAM to change it?
No, you change it in the tax return. If you want to change it in IAMLedger or business, you need to, as you saw the message, you got to override the existing tax return. So any changes here, once you send it published, you know, you've got to do all the changes in the tax return. But if you want to change it from here, there's a wrong journal, or you put it in whatever, you're doing another adjustment, you can do, you know, the override the existing tax return with the updated version and then start again. So whatever you entered and fixed, or it will override, so you got to put those in. So it doesn't, yeah, that's how you got to, that's how I do it. It doesn't talk back and forth if that's the question you're asking. It's one way, it'll send it to Gov Report Tax. So yeah, if there's any other questions, basically they're the key features of the system. And one good thing, it comes part of the subscription of Gov Report suite of products, which is good, good for my business anyway.
When you use it, you mentioned that you use it for so many super fund clients as well. How is that? Is that sufficient? Is this sufficient for you?
It's capturing the information and capturing, as long as you set the chart of accounts to what you need. With trust or super self-managed super fund, it all comes back to, it has more strict lines and more compliance, so therefore you may have to create more investment accounts and other in the chart of accounts. And I know in the future it's going to be a lot better, where it'll, where I find it hasn't, it doesn't produce is the schedules like members account and other things like that. So I'm sure that will come all in due course, the upgrades, which will be part of the suite of upgrades in the GovReport suite of systems. But yeah, otherwise capturing information, it's a ledger. You get the information and you get the report, and from there you can do the same thing, publish, and it'll know it's a self-managed super fund from the setup as we mentioned here. So if you told it it's self-managed super fund when you first set it up, it'll know self-managed, so therefore it'll create the self-managed super fund tax return. So it's all about setting up correctly in the first instance. Once you set up the structure and tell it, you can't go back and change it. So you've got to ask support, I suppose. They can do anything, but yeah, from an operator you can't. You just have to make sure when you set it up you know what structure you're doing. Hopefully that answers. Yeah, if there's any more questions, if there's any other features of the system you want to look at, but they're the key things. They're the key features that I find are of interest, and I know once the bank feed comes in automatically in the future, it's going to be a lot better, and yeah, more improvement to it will be a lot better going forward. So what's there works well. Yeah, there's going to be always different requirements. One good thing, I don't have to worry about upgrades. It's on the cloud, it's always up to date. Don't need to know what version I'm up to, so it's always up to date and the data's up to date. So that's one good thing. When I was on desktop, you got to know which version you're on. So yeah. And even when I had the tax system on the desktop, which version are you on? So I didn't want to be an IT person, so I got to do what I do best. So
okay, all right. Do we have questions from anyone?
like this is the budget feature, which is good. It looks like a spreadsheet. You can sit there and put it in, and you can put the totals in. Say, okay, 1,500. It'll go across the board. And then if you want to go and change it, you change individual. How simple it is. Better than a spreadsheet. I'm not sure if I missed anything, but at the end of the day, I don't want to go through every little, you know, the sales, it invoices, you know, you raise the invoice, you give an estimate quote, I suppose, and then receive the payment, credit notes, and create your customers. And then if you have inventory, it's got a little inventory items, but it's not an inventory system that I know of. So there's no inventory control, but you can set up inventory items, so preset, if it's services or whatever you do, so you put all your prices in there. So it saves you keep thinking how much we charge. And yeah, Payable is the same thing, so it's all based on the same methodology. And that's what happens when we done the bank feed. So once you put your bank rules, you can manage, put it in on each one, or go in and allocate, or you can transfer, expense rules or transfer to rules. There's a lot of things that you can do there. Allocate, it'll give you here what you need to do. So you put, what expense account, etc. So yeah, it's easy enough to use. As they say, watch this space, more improvements will come. It's going to be a great system.
Well, thanks, John.
Well, guys, thank you for your time. Hopefully the presentation was informative, and until next time.
Thanks, John. As I mentioned, the session is recorded. If you need to revisit, it will be posted on our website, the Google, webinars calendar, and will also be sent through to all of you for a copy if you need to revisit. If you've got questions outside of these sessions, please send us the email to info@govreports.com.au, or just send it to support or give us a call, and we'll attend to that. Yeah, so it's pretty straightforward, I guess. We finished a little bit early, started late, and finished early. There you go. Straightforward.
Thank you and good evening.
Thank you. Thanks, John.
Thank you.